Good morning and welcome to NCCR Podcast. I'm your guest host, Stephanie Smith, along with
Kim Matson.
So,
Sorry for being a little late this morning, but fireworks and all last night.
things happen.
That's what it was. So Stephanie, why are you the guest host today?
That's a great question, Kim. So I'm going to call that a calendar snafu on part of the Smiths.
Mm-hmm. Which one in particular?
That would be Mr. Smith.
Oh, okay. Just checking. All right. So the sermon on Sunday, which seems like it was a long time ago to me for some reason.
It does. I think because of the 4th of July, celebrate and then fireworks and
Not
it does
sleeping and getting up at,
It seems like it was 3-4 days ago, but it was just a couple days ago. So.
I know. Anyway, so Steve spoke out of Acts once again, and the story was about Philip out on the road preaching the gospel, and he encounters this Ethiopian man. In fact, he's redirected to go seek this man out, if I understood that correctly.
I believe so.
So this man is of wealth. He's literate. He's kind of traveling on a road where you wouldn't necessarily expect him to be. And he encounters Philip, and he's reading a scroll of Isaiah. And so Philip asks him, do you understand what you're reading? And his response is, how can I? And I think that question, for a lot of people, how can I? I mean, have you ever wondered how can you get something done? How can I accomplish that thing?
Yes. And I think what's super cool about the way this is laid out is here you've got the Ethiopian on the road, and you've got, like you said, of wealth. I think he's the Secretary of the Treasury to Candace of the Ethiopians, and boom, you've got Philip right there. Like, wow, what an encounter, right?
Yeah.
And just, hey, how can I do A, B, and C? And what I find super cool about that is the gospel is for everybody.
Mm-hmm.
It's absolutely for everybody. And I think that is probably the thing that hit me the most in a good way. I think sometimes we go, okay, in church, it's just, we're just going to all talk to each other and do these church things, which are all great. But that, hey, you never know where you are and how can I? And what would we say if somebody said, well, how can I be saved? How can I be baptized? What do I need to do? Would we be ready to respond?
Well, and that question was asked too, how, what's to prevent me from being baptized?
Yes. Oh, and what I found additionally cool about that is, back a few scriptures back was Simon, right? And we had the whole Simon experience. And I like how Philip is like, you know what? Nope, we're going to go take care of this now. So it's not a, hey, I think I am. I'm not sure. It's,
right.
We know.
Right. Yeah, because he claimed to have been baptized as well. Yeah. Right. But not in the heart space.
Yes.
Just in the head space.
Which is the very important space.
So, and then Steve talked too about, God is already at work in the hearts of people where he's told us to go. And, excuse me, kind of revisiting that, you minister to people, you're moved by the Holy Spirit to do that, but we don't know if we're the planter or the waterer. And Steve shared that story with him that, he's been kind of cultivating a friendship with a person, and all of a sudden this person wants to hear somebody else's story, if you will. So you just don't know, but you just need to be open to all of the ways that God can use you.
Exactly. Yeah. And I think that's cool. And I know I love the way Steve told that story, because I think we all go, okay, well, where am I in this process? And it really is, it's not about us, right? It's like, hey, let's let go and let God and just be where you need to be.
Right.
You have that saying, right? If I'm not where I need to be, it's for
if I'm always where I'm supposed to be. Otherwise I'd be someplace else.
There you go. And I think if we
really deep,
but it's so profound in that sense that, hey, let's just chill out. Let's just do
Yeah,
what we need to
just
be doing.
be in your space and do
Yeah.
your thing and live your life in a way that people can tell
Yeah.
that you love God, right?
Yeah, and if be available if anyone has a question or whatever that case may be, and being open. And I think again, and I'm gonna go back to the whole Philip on that road, Ethiopian. So it's Northern Africa, and what's so cool about when Philip became saved and baptized and went back, the way that the early church spread in North Africa. Whoa, I was doing some reading on that, and wow, that was really powerful and caught on to that whole Northern African part of the country, which was like, whoa, one person, man.
Yeah.
One person.
Yep. Because God will call us to places that we don't expect, right? That's the joy in that, if you will, is having the ability to have a different experience that you just never thought you'd have. So, and then you had some intel about Luke as well that I thought was really cool.
Yeah, so in my research on Luke, and I was listening to a couple of different things, I didn't realize that Luke was the only writer of the Gospels that was non-Jewish. So it made me kind of stop and ponder, well, he had an outsider's view, and he probably approached things in a different way and was a lot more inclusive because he knew, hey, I'm an outsider. I'm not, I'm outsider the way I was raised, etc. Now I'm in this and I'm looking at it in a different perspective, and you never know what somebody's experience is, and it's really cool. And this, I say this all the time. I love the diversity of God's people, right? Diversity of thought, diversity of look, diversity of experience.
Yep.
And I just thought that was really cool, his background.
Yeah. Steve mentioned too that, we all want to be known and heard and not lectured to.
Yep.
And the way that we go about that, one of the things was, are you good at asking questions? And then are you good at listening? Because a lot of folks will ask a question, not maybe wait for the entire answer because they want to go on to the next thing, right? They're already formulating their next thought in their head potentially before listening to the response, and that's sometimes you miss the really good stuff.
Yeah, when you're saying that, it's making me think. My nephew is visiting us right now, my 7-year-old nephew, and he's just like, he calls me Titi. Titi, this is, and I'm trying to explain to him, hey, okay, we're gonna do A, B, and C, and he's not even listening. He's moving on to and he's like, but you said we could do, we could go watch TV. I'm like, no, we're gonna do A, B, and C. And I'm like, did you hear me? No.
Just the part where you said yes.
Exactly. I just heard that part.
The rest of it just no.
Out the window. So it's interesting you say that, because I saw that in action just yesterday.
Yeah.
All right. Well, Kim, I do have some questions for you, since my questions are going to revolve more around, what are our snacks today?
Well, again, it's a review of the All-American Cracker, which just seemed like fitting for today.
Right after Independence Day,
right?
All-American.
Yep.
I like it.
And then the chocolate treat is a ding dong, and it seemed wildly appropriate for today, given the calendar snafu. I'd already planned to bring the ding dong, but clearly it was the right choice for today's podcast.
Well said. Ding dongs are like zebra cakes, right? Same
Similar.
type of thing. Mm-hmm. Okay.
Yep,
I'm a
very
big
similar.
zebra cake fan, so
those are delicious.
Now,
I think that was last week's treat.
Was this last week's zebra cake? Do you normally eat the snacks afterwards?
That's been known to happen.
Okay.
Sometimes they show up Tuesday evening at our house for our get together.
Okay, but we probably don't eat them on air, right? That might be messy.
We haven't, but we could start a new trend.
Oh, no, I was just I'm just talking. All right. Do you have any reflection questions for us?
Have you ever found yourself at a strange point in life and wondered how you got there or why you're there?
Ooh, that's a good one.
I mean, we kind of touched on that a bit, but
Yeah.
How did I get here? It can either be a thing of despair or a thing of joy, but how did you get to that place? And then what does that mean? What do you do with that once you've recognized that you're someplace you didn't think you were going to be?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good question. All right. Well,
thank you for filling in today. It's been
no problem.
Just a joy.
It has been. It has been a joy. All right. Well, I'm Stephanie Smith along with
Kim Madsen.
and we will see you next week.